This is Not a Player Pod, a sports podcast by fans and for fans covering everything from the hardwood to the gridiron. So without further ado, let's send it off to the stars of the show, Lewis, Max, Jack, and John, because ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is nap time.
Welcome to the Not a Player podcast, where you don't need to have a 40-inch vertical or a Super Bowl ring to have an opinion on sports. Nowadays, every time you turn on a podcast, it's some former backup tight end telling you that you just don't get it because you never suited up. Sorry, man, I don't need to have him pancaked by Aaron Donald to know what bad O-line play looks like. So welcome, fans, to a podcast just for you. It's Nap Time, presented by German Auto Works. Sales and services on German cars, family operated since 1971. I'd like to welcome you to our first ever episode of the Not a Player podcast, along with my co-hosts, John Tucker and Max Borst. Welcome, friends.
Well done, Lewis. Thank you very much for the fantastic monologue. I'm very happy to be back. The new and improved podcast, no longer the JT Sports Show. This is better. The Not a Player podcast. This is Not a Player podcast. We're happy to have Max join us. Max's brother Jackson, who people may recognize, will be joining the podcast every once in a while, but he is not here tonight. We're going to talk some ball. I'm excited for the football season. Max, your thoughts?
Excited as well. Happy to be on the pod. Long-time listener, first-time host. So good to be here. I think I got some big shoes to fill, but looking forward to it.
We'd like to start with a little housekeeping, too, just off the top, so people can know what to expect. We'll be recording 2 episodes a week. One will be releasing, what did we say, Thursday?
Thursday mornings, Monday mornings. We're going to try and be consistent. In the last iteration of this podcast, we weren't as consistent or professional at times. We tended to take months off, if not years off. We will not be doing that. So yeah, we're excited for it. And football season starts next week, so we have to start right now.
They will also be half-hour shows approximately. Today's will be a longer preview, but we'll try to keep them short for the future because we know people's time is important, and we'd like to get our takes off quick and let people go on with their day.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Another housekeeping thing, each podcast will be football-related. No baseball anymore. We're going to keep it consistent with football. And then once the NBA season starts, we'll talk some basketball, maybe add a third pod a week. That's where Jack Borst might be coming into the fray. But yeah, so now for football for now, we're going to go through all of the teams over-unders, give some takes, and maybe a Super Bowl winner. And we'll let you go on with your evening or morning or day, whatever time you're listening to this. Also, we are back on YouTube, so you can watch this or listen to on Apple Podcasts, whatever you listen to podcasts on. So without further ado, fellas, you want to talk some ball?
I would love to talk some ball. What division are we starting with here, Tuck?
We're going to be going over every single team in the NFL, give our over or under based on their season-long win total projections. We're going to be starting with the AFC East and the Buffalo Bills. Lewis, do you want to go first on your America's team, the Buffalo Bills?
I will go first because naturally I have been a person who has defended the Buffalo Bills. I've been a fan of the Buffalo Bills. And this year will be no different. They will go smash their win total over. They're 11.5 wins. I think that Josh Allen, coming off an MVP season, still has something to prove. This AFC is very, very top-heavy. This isn't glass-shattering. You can pencil Buffalo in for 12-plus wins every single year that Josh Allen is healthy and the quarterback. It's more just a bet on will Josh Allen stay healthy. I think he's indestructible. I will knock on wood right now. I think this division is not very good. We'll get into it more, and that is what's going to lead Buffalo to be dominant. This is, I think, their last year in their stadium, so that's kind of enjoyable too. This is our last year of like complete utter snowstorm chaos. So their win total is 11.5. I have them going over. Max?
I think you hit the nail on the head. I agree with their over. Contrary to Bill Simmons' opinion on Josh, I don't think he has taken the crown for top quarterback in the league quite yet from Mahomes, but I think this is the year you can do it, so I definitely take over 11.5 as well.
Unfortunately, we all agree. I also have the over for the Buffalo Bills. I'm not sure this will be a thing going all night where we all agree on the same team. But, they added some wide receiver depth. Elijah Moore, Josh Palmer, maybe not household names, but better than what they had. Like, Khalil Shakir is a good receiver. He's not a wide receiver one. He still is their wide receiver one, but you need to have some better depth. And I think that'll help in the long run. They also added Joey Bosa, which I think is an underrated signing if he can stay healthy for once. So I like the over as well.
Speaking to the Bills, also their strength of schedule is incredibly easy. I'll be referencing this a few times tonight. It is the Sharp Football Analysis strength of schedule ranking. They have the 5th easiest strength of schedule, and for a Josh Allen-led team, that will be beneficial.
I am, I'm not a huge fan of the strength of schedule thing because last year's teams are different than this year's teams. Am I right or wrong?
No, that's true.
Okay. But I understand your thought on it. The Miami Dolphins, 8.5 wins, over under. Cupcake uniforms, Mike McDaniel. You remember a couple of years ago when Mike McDaniel was the hot thing? His interviews were so funny. He wears like off-white, Air Force Ones on the sideline. He got the Florida shades. That's worn off. I think this is a huge year for him if he wants to keep his job. But Lewis or Max, actually Max, you're going to go first on the Dolphins. Your thoughts?
I agree. I think his back's definitely on the wall, and it's funny to see his first year in Miami to now the TikTok hair and the glasses progression has been pretty humorous. But I think I am going to take their over just based on how they start seasons. And when Tua's healthy, him and Mike McDaniels actually tend to win games. So I will go over with not a playoff appearance, I don't think, but I think they'll go over 8.5 by one game. Maybe sneaking a wild card.
I don't hate this pick. I chose under, but I think it's close. I think it's one of the closest. I agree with your take that when they are healthy, they can be a potent offense. And their defense isn't the worst thing in the world, but, I'm just taking the under basically due to the fact that they can't help but get injured. Any of them. And Tyreek Hill, there's some weird stuff going with him. I mean, there were trade rumors involving him. There might still be. So, bad vibes, but I'm going to take the under. Lewis, your thoughts?
Yeah, you know what? It's all going to depend on this first few weeks of the schedule. They got the Patriots at home, and then they have the Bills on the road, then the Jets at home, which is 3 divisional games right in a row. So if they're coming out of there 2-1, I'm going to be feeling good. If they're coming out 1-2, I might honestly. It's a little bit of a panic for me, even though it's a little early to say. But I think this start's going to be huge for them. They normally start out red hot in September because you got the Ferraris coming out of the driveway and they're roaring in September. By December and January is kind of when that's not when you take Ferraris driving. That's when you got to take the big trucks. So that's when they're not as good. But I think it comes down to it. I have their under. I don't see them being good. Mike McDaniel is 5-1 on being the first coach fired. He's the second best odds, right behind Brian Dable, who I don't agree with actually. I think Mike McDaniel should be number 1 according to the site I just looked at. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not, but it's the first site that popped up. So expect him to be fired if they don't start out hot, because their owner too, I think his name is Stephen Ross. He is not afraid to splash his cash around, and he has plenty of it. He's not like the Bengals owner who will be penny pinching on firing a coach. He doesn't care if he has to pay this guy $20 million out of his pocket.
Yeah.
Good point. I agree. I agree with the thought that they always come out hot. If you're betting the over on the Miami Dolphins, it's because you think they will stay healthy and get off to a hot start per usual and maybe hang on and maybe win a couple late in the year somehow at home probably to just get over the 8.5 number.
They might do the 7-0 run and then not clinch their over till the last week of the season.
It's possible. Anything's possible. They pull out those light blue or light green, whatever the hell those uniforms are in the frigid temperatures in Buffalo, and they can't win. It's impossible.
No, never gonna happen.
All right. Patriots, 8.5 again. New coach, Mike Vrabel. second year for Drake May. They bring in Stephon Diggs, who is coming off an injury. I witnessed them at Vikings training camp. It didn't tell me anything. I will be taking the under. I'll start. I'm taking the under. Vrabel will help things. Everybody seems to be super high on the Patriots because Drake May looked good last year when he did play, and Vrabel seems to raise floors of wherever he goes. But I just think the lack of talent will just keep them under this number. I think they're a year or two away from being pretty good.
Mm-hmm. No, I think they're going to be an exciting team, but I must agree on the under as well. I think people are too high on them too early, but I think that they'll have some fun games, and Stephon Diggs, I think, will shine.
Listen, I did a little bit of research coming into this pod, full disclosure, and that research was based on three things. Does a team have a new coach? Does a team have a rookie quarterback? And does a team have a second-year coach? Two of those three things apply to this, even though it's a little bit different that Mike Vrabel has coached before. But I think the rookie quarterback thing also matters because he is still a rookie quarterback. I guess kind of both of them are off now that I think about it because he's not technically a rookie quarterback. He did play a few games last year.
Good research.
Not the best research. Maybe I should pause on this a little bit. You know what? We're gonna punt on this. That's the point there. We're gonna punt on this research till we get to the next team here. But I'm also gonna go for the under. I think that the hype is way too big coming in. They have easiest strength of schedule, which John said to throw out the window, and I kind of agree with you a little bit to throw it out the window. Everyone's way too hype on them. I'm gonna take a little bit of stock into the preseason here. Normally I don't take stock in the preseason, and normally I wouldn't even know if the Vikings weren't even playing against this team. But Drake May was not impressive at all during the preseason game. He didn't look good. And more importantly, he wasn't impressive during their preseason joint practices that John attended.
Yeah.
And they were just getting smoked by this Vikings defense. And I think that it's going to be a little bit bumpier in New England than people really think.
Couldn't agree anymore. Let's move on. Jets, 5.5. Lewis, why don't you go?
You know what? I think that the Jets are going to be good. Not good, but I think that they're going to have a little bit of an identity. They'll be able to run the ball. They'll be able to win close games. And Justin Fields, even if he doesn't even play, I don't even know who their backup is, but like the ceiling is so low, but the floor is mediocre high that they're just going to out-defense people. I think Aaron Glenn has an identity. And here's kind of what I'm thinking too. It's a little bit of a preview for our NFC part. I think the Lions losing both coordinators is going to be a huge, huge deal, a lot bigger than people are talking about. And Aaron Glenn might be the more important coordinator. That's a little bit of a stretch. I'm just saying the Bears are our division. But Aaron Glenn's a very important coach. I think he'll be good on that team. I think they'll have an identity. And I think I'm going to go over just barely. It's 5.5. Let's pencil them in for like 6 wins. So they're still going to be missing the playoffs.
Max?
No research on the Jets. Don't care. I heard Fields looks horrible. I'll take their under just to zag Lewis.
All right. I am going to agree with Lewis on this one. I like their over. I just think it's too low. Their defense is very good, and they improved with Aaron Glenn coming in. I think that simply makes their team better over Robert Saleh. And whoever the interim coach is, I can't remember his name.
Albrecht.
The one with the what was it?
Albrecht, Jeff.
Yes, yeah, Jeff Albrecht.
And then his son is the one that released the Shador phone number that got.
That's right.
Called.
Yeah, you know what?
$250,000 for it.
Last year's Jets team had so much, news every single week with Aaron being there. The Robert Saleh thing going on with him being fired. I just think this year, clean slate, 5.5 is a low number. They do have some talent on the roster, especially on defense, and I agree they will be able to run the ball. Who's their quarterback again? Justin Fields. You're right, Justin Fields. You know, for whatever reason, I think I will always be high on Justin Fields just because of his running ability and strong arm, even though it is not necessarily accurate at times. I just, for whatever reason, I'll always think he's decent. Maybe it's fantasy football reasons. All right, winner of this division, I think this is pretty self-explanatory. I'm picking the Bills.
I will be picking the Bills as well.
Ditto.
All right. We don't need to take any more time on the AFC East. The Bills sweep the board. We're going to move to the AFC West, and we are going to start with a team that has a new head coach, a new offensive coordinator, a new general manager. This is the Las Vegas Raiders. Their number is 6.5. I will start. I'm taking the over. I think it's slightly over. I don't love Geno Smith. A lot of people are saying Geno Smith is a massive upgrade over whoever they had starting at quarterback, the 5 different quarterbacks they had last year. But I just think this is my reasoning is Pete Carroll. God damn it. Sorry about that, folks. Hope I didn't just give you a concussion. Pete Carroll is the reason we will be going over. He seemingly won't lose or win less than 6 games, in my opinion. Chip Kelly being the offensive coordinator is a little hesitant. It makes me a bit hesitant, but yeah, I'm going to take the over based off of Pete Carroll, and he has some experience with Geno Smith, so maybe that'll help.
Yeah, I think I agree. I'm taking the over. Heard some reports that they're not using Blake Bortles as much in the scheme early on.
Who?
Or sorry, Brock Bowers. 2 BBs. No.
Blake Bortles.
I think Geno's going to be a good quarterback for him as well. What did I say, Blake Bortles?
Yeah.
Blake Bortles, not the quarterback of the Raiders.
And bald reports on Brock Bowers, I heard, are false.
Yeah,
not
fake
true.
news.
Fake news.
He didn't actually shave his head, which is a bummer.
Really?
Soon, but
Buzz cut?
No, not just complete AI.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, that wasn't real.
We're going to have to look into this. Maybe in our future years of this podcast, we'll have the technological abilities to search this on Google. But for now, we'll just believe the fake AI reports. You said the over. You like the over as well?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Lewis?
I'm going to be a member of the bald community soon.
All right, so we got the over and bald community for Max. I'm thinking we're going over. I don't need to explain anything else. I think we hit the nail on the head. I think it's mainly just a Pete Carroll, and we're just raising the floor of the quarterback and the coach. I know that's a take that other people have. It's an easy one, but it works every time, which is kind of saying a little something against my Patriots take, but because there's the same thing, but their win total is much higher than 6.5. And the Raiders are in a very difficult division, but I think that they can win some of these close games, and they have a decent defense. So we're going to stick with the over. I'm going no on playoffs, though.
I agree. Chargers, 9.5. Lewis, why don't we start with you?
I think that this is one that I've gone back and forth on a lot. Part of me just thinks that Jim Harbaugh is a great coach and they will never be bad. The other part of me thinks that they got killed that day against the Houston Texans back in December in the first round of the playoffs, or January, whatever it was. And I'm going to go with that second one. I think that part of them died that day. I don't trust Justin Herbert at all. I don't think that their run game is anything special now with who is it? Like
Amari and Hampton.
Yeah, Amari and Hampton. But does Najee Harris have one eye? Who knows what's going on there?
Najee's a backup.
Can we name any of their receivers?
Lad McConkey.
Lad McConkey, he's okay. I think he actually takes a step back a little bit this year. I think people are going to have him figured out. I think that Quentin Johnson is really going to step up. I don't trust Bosa on their defense, or Bosa. Everyone's going to be yelling at him when he goes in and watches his brother play in the playoffs, which I don't think is going to happen.
Unfortunately, Joey Bosa is no longer on the team, so that will not be happening.
Right? Or he's on the Bills.
No, Joey's on the Bills.
He's on the Bills. Okay. Well, either way, I don't trust their defense. So I don't think that they're going to make it out of this tough division. There's too many other good teams. I'm going under.
Yep, Max?
I think the division is the hardest part. But I gotta bet on the good coach. I'd go over. I think they're gonna be running the ball well, contrary to what Lewis said, and I think that's gonna open things up for Herbert. And I'm gonna take their over hesitantly, just based off the division.
Reminder that their right tackle, one of their tackles is out for the year. Rashawn Slater.
So that is part of my reasoning why I will be choosing the under. I do like Justin Herbert. He is a talent, but he tends to lose big games. They lost Bosa. Slater's out for the year, and I totally agree with you, Lewis. And we need to start disagreeing. But I totally agree that they lost a part of their soul in that Houston Texans game. There's no way that Houston Texans team was that much better than that Chargers team, and it could make its way into this year. So yeah, I'm going to take the under. I'm pretty confident in that under. I'm not going to lie.
You don't think Harbaugh's mended those wounds?
I think it's more a Herbert thing than Harbaugh.
Yeah, he's got.
Are you gonna like star this one too? I feel like we get like a few stars on like what we're super confident in. Are you starring this?
I am starring this one. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, this has got to be more of a Herbert conversation than anything.
I'm gonna be starring.
I'm
gonna be starring the Buffalo Bills. If we're going back to that, we can go through our stars later after we're done with each conference. But
yep. Chiefs 11.5. I will be taking the over until they stop winning games that are close. I will continue to take the over on the Chiefs. They once again made the Super Bowl last year after having a somewhat lucky season, winning so many close games. But I just think that's what they do, contrary to belief. Some people think that they'll regress to the mean. I think they'll keep doing it. Kelsey just got engaged. He is getting older. He might be thinking of things off the field more than on the field.
Last year, 100%. There's no chance he plays next year.
I would probably agree. But Spagnuolo, the defense is always really good. And Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. They added some decent receiver depth. And Rashee Rice, he might be out for a bit. But Xavier Worthy's good. And I think they'll be just fine. 11.5. If it was 12.5, I'd have said under. But I think 11.5, I'm going over.
I agree. Is Hollywood Brown back?
I think he is, yeah.
Another good target. I felt like Mahomes had an off year last year somehow and still made it to the Super Bowl. So kind of in the same boat. I'm not betting against them. No way.
That's going to be all three of us. I think that they're going to be noticeably more enjoyable to watch this year as well, too. I think that they've been kind of hearing all they were kind of boring, we're kind of boring, and I think they're going to, maybe start taking some more shots, whether that's Xavier Worthy taking another step in his year or two, Rashee Rice later in the season. I think their run game is going to be better. They got a little more time to protect Mahomes as well with their increased offensive line. Their defense is what's going to be we'll see how that goes, because maybe did a part of their soul die that Super Bowl, but maybe they're just kind of banged up too. I'm going to stick with the over, same reason that Tuck. I don't love it. I think the division's tough, but we'll see.
Next team is the Denver Broncos. Their number is 9.5. Max, why don't you start us up?
Man, I feel like I pigeonholed myself a little bit. I don't know who's going to go under in this division.
Yeah, you've taken all three overs. You have to get an under.
I think I might just talk myself out of Denver, which I don't hate because everybody is so high on them. Bo Nix might take a step back compared to the end of the season last year. I do think they're going to be super competitive, but I'll just go under because I took the overs on all the other teams.
Okay. I'm going to take the over. I am one of the people that are high on them. Sophomore slump, I don't think it's a thing for Bo Nix. He seemingly showed up in big moments last year pretty decently. They added some weapons. R.J. Harvey in the draft, I think he's a stud running back out of Central Florida. Evan Ingram is a underrated tight end who actually had a decent year for the Jags last year. And remember the name Pat Bryant, rookie out of Illinois. Was always a fan of him at Illinois, had trash quarterbacks for years, and somehow still put up massive numbers when he was the clear number one option. He is very talented. I like the over for them. I think they'll have a more explosive offense, and their defense is always very good. So I'm going to take the over. It's one of my favorites.
Okay, you know what? I'm also going to take the over. I think what you just said. Yeah,
unbelievable.
I like
have we been tying on every single one? Have we? I've got it right here. Yeah, we've agreed on every single
that has got to change. Has to change.
It has to change. I think that Bo Nix is still going to be okay. I don't see him being unbelievable. But you know what? Their floor is just high with Sean Payton, and you kind of got to handcuff Bo Nix a little bit still, but their defense is so good that I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. So,
Also, Cortland Sutton. Can I just say Cortland Sutton is still one of the most underrated players in the league?
For sure, he's their one wide receiver too. So actually in this division, I have 3 out of the 4 teams making the playoffs, and the one team missing the playoffs is the Chargers. So this is going to be the.
Wait, you have the Raiders making the playoffs?
Excuse me, I only have 2 teams.
I was thinking, wow, that's faith in Gino and Pete.
I actually have the Chargers. Wait.
What? Chargers?
You know what?
Under.
I took the under, but I got them sneaking into the playoffs. I got to look back at the models.
All right, let's do division winner. Let's pick the winner in this division. I'm going to take the Denver Broncos.
Max?
Kansas City Chiefs. I think I got the flip of Lewis, though, as far as Broncos v. Chargers. Broncos sneak in at 9.
At 9, okay. I got Kansas City Chiefs, too. Someone's got to prove it to me before it happens, and I don't see a Bo Nix-led team winning,
No.
and I don't think that mediocre Justin Herbert will be winning either.
Fair enough. Let's move on to the AFC North. Hopefully we disagree with some things here. Ravens, we're probably not going to disagree here. Maybe we will. I'll be taking the over. They added DeAndre Hopkins. They added Jair Alexander. Regression to the mean here. Last year in one-score games, they were only 500. I think Lamar's better than that. I think they'll improve, and for that reason, I'm taking the over. I think they'll win more games.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a bunch of those weird games early in the year, like the likely foot on the line game. They had like a weird missed field goal game. Their kicker turned out to be like kind of a rapist, so that doesn't work out for team.
Did
morale.
Justin Tucker arguably have the worst year of any athlete in all of sports?
He might have.
Huge downfall.
Huge downfall.
He went from arguably the best kicker in NFL history to not on a team.
Yeah, for some bad reasons. So
yeah, but he also just was bad at football. Didn't kick good.
So I'm just looking at the odds right now, and I'm looking at their over, and I thought it was going to be 11.5, like minus like 190, but it's actually only minus 121, which I think is a little surprising. I think that that's going to be one of my stars to take, and I will be taking that over. It is going to be highlighted from me. I think teams like the Bills, teams like the Ravens, teams like the Chiefs, all 3 of those teams have an over of 11.5. And when you look at it, you're like, oh, are they going to do it again? Are they going to do it again? I think you bet all 3 of those teams overs, and I think you're at least hitting 2 of the 3. At least. There's not going to be a year where where 2 of those 3 teams aren't winning 12 games. It just, I wish I had looked at this before, but maybe I'll make a note on it and looking at it for the next episode. But I really just think that this is a blind bet. When you get these good teams with good quarterbacks, they just don't have losing seasons.
No.
I agree on that. Max, do you like the over or under?
Dare I say Super Bowl if they stay healthy?
Yeah.
They're like second favorites right now, aren't they?
I haven't looked at Super Bowl odds, but I'm taking their over. And early Super Bowl pick.
Okay.
Okay. Let's move to the Bengals. Their number is 9.5. Last year, they started off fairly poorly, per usual. They just signed Trey Hendrickson, or I should say re-signed Trey Hendrickson. So
Great.
maybe that's out of the way. Joe Burrow was making a case for MVP late in the year last year. He is still a stud. 9.5. I'm going to be taking the over. They got rid of Lou Anarumo. I think that'll help things. Their defense can't be worse than last year. And T. Higgins, I think, started off last year injured or got injured during the year, missed some time. Jamar Chase was really good. I'm going to take the over here, 9.5.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I agree. I think, not to jump ahead, but I think the Cowboys are the new Bengals. But I'm going to take the Bengals over. I think they improved.
I don't think that.
What? The Bengals improved. I don't see Joe Burrow being held out of the playoffs a couple years in a row. I'm betting on the good quarterbacks this year, just like I said in the past. Even though I just think Burrow's like a little bit below Allen and Mahomes. So that's a discussion for another time. And Lamar, but like I think he's ranked 4th out of those guys, even though he made it to Super Bowl. I don't care as much as that because those other guys lost for different reasons. I will still be taking their over. I think it's not going to happen 2 years in a row. It's just not. Teams like this don't.
I agree.
2 years in a row.
I agree. So again, we're all on the over.
2 teams, all on the over. We got to start mixing it up.
Hopefully that will happen, but sometimes great minds think alike. Browns, the number is 4.5. I'm taking the under here. I think this team might be one of the worst in the NFL. Joe Flacco is just named the starting quarterback. At what point will teams stop having Joe Flacco? Like, when you name Joe Flacco your starting quarterback, you're not making the playoffs. You have zero chance of making the playoffs. Maybe if Joe Flacco comes in because your quarterback got hurt after like 12 games, then it's fine. But starting the year off with Joe Flacco, things can't be in a good spot for the Cleveland Browns. I feel bad for Kevin Stefanski. I think he's a pretty good coach. But ever since they signed Deshaun Watson and got rid of Baker Mayfield back in the day, they've been on a bad path. So I'm taking the under 4.5.
Yeah, who's on this roster and I feel like they have so much dead cap too. Just like speaking of how much Deshaun's cap is.
I saw him working out the other day. Good video.
Can you name one receiver on their team?
Question. Is Jerry Jeudy on the team?
I was gonna say that's the guy, Jerry Jeudy, but I mean Jerry Jeudy. Come on, his name's cooler than anything, but that's it.
No.
Tight end,
Njoku. I don't think is he on.
Yeah.
I think he's still there, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see Myles Garrett being able to save this season. I know he wanted out way earlier in this summer because he thought they couldn't win a Super Bowl. He was right, but listen, you get paid a few $100 million. I think you're just going to be like, all right, getting your teeth kicked in a few games. So
yeah,
he might single-handedly win 2 games himself, and that's just impossible to do as a defensive end, but I don't see them winning 5. I think they'll be drafting 2nd next year, and I will save the team for 1st later. I'll be taking the under.
Okay.
I too am excited to watch them lose games. I got the under. But put some respect on Joe Flacco's name. Super Bowl winner. Fun guy.
Joe's a good guy. He had some good years in Baltimore. Unfortunately, he's just over the hill now. He still has
a poverty franchise move to start him.
Exactly. You're not in a good spot as an organization if Joe Flacco is starting week 1. You're not. We're moving on. Steelers, 8.5. This is where things could get interesting. I'm going to have Lewis go first because we know his take. Go ahead.
There has been one quarterback in their 40s to be good, and his name is not Aaron Rodgers. He does not chew bark. The Steelers legends hate him, a.k.a. Terry Bradshaw. I think that he doesn't want to get hit. Sure, he can still throw a ball 60 yards, but so can Tom Brady right now. So can Brett Favre. That doesn't mean that he's going to be able to step into the ring of an NFL football field and take 1 sack. Are we sure he's even going to make it through this whole year? What's his over-under in games played? Maybe 14.5? I think he misses a couple weeks. And that's just because he's going to be held out, because he's going to get like a little tweak. He's not going to be feeling right. He was already beat up last year. We got questions on their O-line too, which is like their biggest thing. They're not going to be able to run the ball because Aaron Rodgers is a diva and will only play out of shotgun. So like they're going to be starting only out of shotgun. You know what the dirty little secret about this team is too, and it doesn't even revolve around Aaron Rodgers or this offense.
Share it.
Is their defense has fallen off a cliff. Their defense was ranked 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. I forgot what it was for a majority of that last season. I was looking at preseason rankings on ESPN. I was looking at preseason rankings on The Ringer. It's close to between 20 and 25 ranked defense now. And that's how they won games in the past, was their defense. They weren't winning because like Kenny Pickett was slinging it. And like, is Aaron Rodgers going to be able to keep up with scoring 20 to 30 points a game? I don't think so. I think that it's going to be their defense that's going to let them down just as much as Aaron Rodgers is going to let them down. I don't see them being good. I see them winning 5 games this year out of 8.5. I'm sorry to Mike Tomlin. This might be his last year too. Get him on a better franchise. I want to see Mike T fresh start somewhere new. I've got their under. I've got it starred. Let's go.
Max, you go ahead.
You want to see Tomlin recycled, Lewis?
I would like to see Tomlin recycled. I think that the Steelers fans don't appreciate what they have in him. I think that they've wanted him fired for years now. I want to see him go somewhere else where the GM and the owner are in lockstep with the coach and they work with him and give him a good roster, because when he has a good roster, he can win, and he has had poopy pants rosters the last 5 years.
Nice. Well, that was a very good rant, but I am going to take the over strictly because you took the under, I think. But no, I believe in Tomlin. I think he can whip any team into pretty good shape enough to go 500 or a little bit above. And who knows, Rodgers might catch fire. He's going to be for sure better than last year, I think. But we'll see.
So here we go. For people that don't know, the formerly known podcast called the JT Sports Show, I'm not sure we were recording during the summer months when there were rumors, or I guess it was more spring months, of rumors of Aaron Rodgers coming to your Minnesota Vikings. Yours truly was very excited about the idea. And therefore, people that know me would think I like the over for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year. Not so fast, my friend. Shout out Lee Corso. Aaron Rodgers on the Steelers is a completely different thing than Aaron Rodgers on the Vikings. Their offensive line is nowhere near as good as the Vikings. Mike Tomlin is not Kevin O'Connell. And I don't know. I just Lewis, you mentioned the Aaron Rodgers. How many games is he going to play? One of the props I was looking up was Aaron Rodgers passing touchdowns total. It's 22.5. Now listen, that's not a big number, but Mike Tomlin doesn't like to throw the ball all that much, and I don't believe Aaron Rodgers is going to stay healthy all year with the O-line having trouble. So I'm going to take the under on that Aaron Rodgers prop, and I'm going to take the under on the Steelers this year. I agree that Mike Tomlin should go somewhere else. Steelers fans, they're a great fan base. They don't respect him as much as they should, in my opinion. So that's that. The division. Who are we picking in the AFC North? I'm going to be taking the Ravens.
Yeah, me too.
I was going to take the Ravens, but you know what? I'm going to be taking the Bengals just for a little parity in this.
Nice.
Just for a little parity.
Thank you.
Fair enough. I like it. All right. Lastly, in the AFC South, the Texans, 9.5. A team that is getting, how do I say it? They're very lucky that they are in this division. I don't like the Texans. I don't think they're very good. I'm taking their over purely due to their division. I think their roster is not very good. I think their defense isn't very good. C.J. Stroud had a good rookie year. He didn't look nearly as good last year. So I'm going to take their over, but I don't like it. I really don't like it.
I'm going to be taking their under. I think this is another case where so the number's 9.5. I think that they win 9 games, and I think they still make the playoffs as the division winner. But C.J. Stroud really rubbed me the wrong way when he big broed Caleb Williams. Went on the podcast tour.
Player pod.
Oh. This is why we have this podcast, not C.J. Stroud kind of like patting himself on the back. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. And I'm sorry, I just don't see it with this team. I see them just like kind of getting there in the start of the playoffs, and that's really it. I know they kind of took steps against Kansas City last year. I'm not really swayed on them. Like, if it turns out that they're good, I'm not going to be shocked. Like, this isn't one that I'm going out super heavily towards, but I'm going slight under, and I'm going them to make the playoffs still.
Fair enough.
Also taking their under. I don't think I have much to add, but not a believer in 10 wins.
Again, I don't think the Texans are very good. If they make the playoffs, which I think they will, uh, basically because they win their division, I think they lose round one. So they're a fraudulent,
They did.
what's going to be 10-win team.
They did play. They did play the Chiefs very difficult. They might have given the Chiefs their best game in the playoffs.
Chiefs also like to keep games close. So I'm not sure how much stock I'll put into that. Let's move on. Colts, 7.5. Lewis, why don't you go first?
I'm going to go with their over. And I'm not really sold on it, but I'm just going to go with it. I think that Danny Dimes raised the ceiling of this team. I think that Shane Steichen is coaching for his job. I think that they're going to be playing for their owner, Mr. Sir Jim Irsay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean ceiling of this team. I meant the floor of this team. I think that they'll at least be comparable. They got Cam Bynum in the offseason. I'll be missing him on the Vikings. I think their defense is fine.
I don't think so.
I just think that they win 8 games and miss the playoffs. Nothing wrong with that. Over by 1. I'm not sold on it, but over by half a game.
Colts over because of Cam Bynum's celebration.
Hey, he brings
Yep.
vibes.
Good vibes. He brings good vibes.
But I'm going to be taking
You like the over?
under Colts. I just think it's messy offense and not a believer in it. A good trading partner for the Vikings this offseason, but I don't believe in them.
Yeah,
I'm going to agree. I like the under as well. I think all that needs to be said is if you're starting Danny Dimes over a second year, or is it third year Anthony Richardson? I can't remember. Is it third year Anthony Richardson? I think that says a lot about where they are as an organization.
Shane Steichen is trying to save his job right now, and he might.
And
do it.
Danny Dimes is who you're going to rely on.
He's not going to. You just mean it's more of a statement against Anthony Richardson.
I would argue if he's trying to save his job, use the excuse that Anthony Richardson sucks and not.
Put him in the game.
Danny Dimes did go to the Kevin O'Connell School of Quarterback Rehabilitation, so we'll see how good of a school that is.
Yeah, usually you got to at least play a snap under the KOC Rehabilitation School. But yeah. All right, Jaguars 7.5. This is one of my favorite overs.
Oh,
I a couple of years ago, if people remember, was all over the Jaguars. I thought Doug Peterson.
I do remember that. That was great.
Doug Peterson was. I thought he was the perfect fit with old Mr. Trevor Lawrence. Ended up not being the case. Trevor had a bad couple of years. I think Trevor's back. The rumors are he's having a great training camp. Coach Duval moves in. I'm a fan of his from what he did in Tampa. Kind of a weird dude, but smart football mind, innovative. I think he's a more innovative coach than Doug Peterson. And I think people are sleeping on what the Jags are doing down there. It's a sleepy football team. It's a sleepy organization. But I think Trevor Lawrence is better than what he's shown to be. And if he has a better, maybe somebody that he clicks better with than Dougie P, they could be. And 7.5 is not a big number. So I really like this over.
Okay, you know what? I had under written down, but
I swayed him.
I think you might be swaying me a little bit because I was not sold on it at all.
Come on!
I didn't like it at all. I'm going to go they win 8 games and miss the playoffs. Trevor Lawrence will be fine. There's going to be a very average team. How about that? 8-9, miss the playoffs, average. Nothing else to say besides average. Their new GM is this young guy. I think he made a little bit of a swing to take Travis Hunter. I'll be excited to see what happens to him.
I didn't even mention that.
Yeah. Is he going to be playing both sides? Or what's the deal with that?
Sounds like
I don't know, but wherever he goes, he's going to be good.
I think you have to play both sides. If you took this capital and you treated him like 2 players, you traded your first-round pick next year. Like that's not nothing. You're not going to trade a first-round pick for next year to take just a cornerback or just a wide receiver. You have to play him 2 sides for what you gave up for him.
The good news is this year's number is 7.5, and that pick doesn't have won't mean anything until next year. And so,
True.
You know what? Fine.
Still a first rounder.
Max?
Yeah.
I think I agree with the GM move. I like the first year ballsy GM move, but very much a GM trying to make a splash. I don't think it's going to pay off this next year. I have a take that I think makes sense for this show, like solidifies what this show represents more than anything. I was so ready to be in on Trevor Lawrence if he would have just cut his hair in the offseason. Prove that it's a fresh start, grow up a little bit, get rid of the long, disgusting flow, but he refused to do so. I don't think he's changed at all. I think he sucks. I think the Jags suck, and I'm taking their under.
All right, I don't hate it. I should say I do hate it, but that's fine. We can disagree. Final team.
This is a weird division every year. Like what's going on here?
Yeah, I feel like this division, like every 3 years, there's one team that really makes a step forward. For a while, it was the Titans that were really good under Vrabel. The Jags had like a 2-year stretch where they were very good. The last couple of years have been the Texans. Prior to that, when our friend, what's his name? Oh, Frank Reich was there with Phillip Rivers. They had a year. They had a year where they stepped forward. So yeah, every once in a while there's a team that steps forward. I think this year it could be the Jags. All right, that was the AFC. We will be back.
We still have the Titans, and I got a few things to talk about on the Titans.
Ah, shoot. Yeah, you're right. That's right. We have the Titans. Real fascinating team the Tennessee Titans are. I'll keep it short. I have the under on the Tennessee Titans. No talent on either side of the ball.
I disagree. I will go over.
Wow.
5.5?
Yep.
I'm going over. Bad division. They'll beat the Jags. We split with them for sure.
Eh.
Yep.
All right, so here's where I'm going to bring out the research here. I
Tell me some numbers.
I look back at the last 10 years of teams that are bringing in a rookie quarterback and a new head coach. And teams with a new head coach are at 40% of hitting their win total overs. Teams with a rookie quarterback are at 33% of hitting a win total. They're hitting their win total over. What do the Titans have in common? They got both of them. Guess what I'm going to be betting? I will be betting on the over for this year. I will be taking that research and throwing it right out the window. I think that Cam Ward is one of the outliers in this situation. I think that he can really raise the floor of this team. Are they going to make the playoffs? No. Are they going to take a big step forward? Yes. Did everyone think this is kind of like not fully what the Commanders were last year, but a little bit as to what the Commanders were last year? No one was talking about the Commanders leading into last year's season. Jaden wasn't like the number one QB talked about. It was Caleb. Although Ward was the number one QB taken, no one's really talking about him. People talk about Shador, the third-string quarterback for the Browns, 10 times as much as they're talking about Cam Ward. So I think that they're flying under the radar in a good spot, and I think that they can hit this over.
Lewis, do you mind if I ask you the numbers on rookie quarterback and second-year head coach?
I don't have that exact combination, but I have second-year coach is at a 45%. So it's not.
Because the Titans actually have a second-year coach in Brian Callahan, not first-year coach.
He's so not memorable. He's so not memorable that I didn't even remember he was the coach last year.
So unfortunately, those numbers are going to have to actually go back out the window. And
they were already out the window. They already were out the window, but they're even more out the window now. Why don't we go through our playoff teams quick, and then we'll go through who we think is going to get out of this conference.
Fair enough.
So my playoff teams are: I have the Buffalo Bills. I have the Baltimore. Buffalo's going to be the only team out of the AFC East. I've got Baltimore and Cincinnati out of the AFC North. I have the Texans winning the AFC South. And then I have 3 teams to get to 7 teams in the AFC West, and the Broncos, Chiefs, Chargers.
All right. I have the Bills winning the AFC East, only team in the AFC East. In the West, I have 2 teams, Chiefs and Broncos. In the North, I have 2 teams, Ravens, Bengals. And in the South, do I have one more team to choose? I believe I have one more team. It's the Texans. I like the Texans. Okay, then I'm taking the Jaguars.
Okay. Because you took the Ravens and the Browns.
I did not take the Browns. I did
Sorry, the Ravens.
I promise you I didn't take the Browns.
You got the Browns?
You took the Bengals and the Ravens. All right.
Correct.
So I'm going to delete all the no's. Okay.
Max, who do you have making the playoffs?
Buffalo, Baltimore, Cincy. I think we all three of those. I want to differ somewhere. I think you have to take the Texans out of that division as well. And then I will go. You went Chargers, Lewis? And didn't I say I was going to go Broncos?
I think I'm going. Yeah.
So I'll go Kansas City and Broncos.
Well, you don't have enough. You don't have enough teams.
Chargers.
You're going Chargers too.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
that's my wild card. One of Chargers or Broncos.
so we have the exact same teams making the playoffs right now.
Fun.
That's.
I mean,
Fair enough.
What about your Steelers?
My Steelers? They are not making the playoffs with Rodgers. They're going 9-8.
That's in the playoffs. That's in the playoffs.
No,
Not when the Jags win 10 games.
I don't know what the Broncos or Chargers.
I think if they go 9-8, they'll make the playoffs.
Then switch Broncos for Steelers.
Okay.
But I don't. Whatever. I'll die on the Steelers.
I think
Doesn't
you gotta
love
go.
it.
Are we going to be betting on the Steelers? Is that what's going to be happening right now?
Yeah, I'll bet you they're over.
Okay. Do you want to discuss terms now or later?
Podcast.
I think you have to do it right now.
What should the terms be?
Whatever you want. I'm not going to get in the middle of it. I'm just going to be I'll be the mediator.
Get in the middle of it.
Well, do you want to do? Are you looking at cash? Or are you looking at somebody has to do something? What are we talking?
I've got a good one. Max and I go to no free ads, but we go to a Fat Pants Friday at Sixsmith, and I think that the loser will be buying the next 3 Fat Pants Fridays for the other person.
I like that, and you have to wear an Aaron Rodgers jersey to said Fat Pants Friday. If the
Okay. Who's going to be purchasing this Aaron Rodgers jersey?
the China website.
Okay.
Fair enough. That's a unique bet. All right. We will be back to do the NFC. Thanks everybody for listening. Again, these episodes will drop on Thursday mornings and Monday mornings following the Sunday games, and then we'll preview the next week on Thursdays. This again is the JT. Damn, this is not the JT Sports Show. This is not a player pod. You can watch or
presented by our wonderful sponsors.
correct. Again, we're sponsored by German Auto Works, family owned and operated since 1971. Thank you again to those people. And you can watch or listen. You can subscribe. You can like. You can comment. You can do all of that. Follow us on those social media platforms. And again, thanks everybody for listening or watching. We'll see you next time. Adios.